Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sharise Johnson Moore's podcast, where we talk about any and everything today. I want to speak with all the authors that may need some help with exposure for your books. Yes, exposure. Now that you have written your book, this is the next part of your journey. These are important facts that I will give you for some marketing tools for your book. So sit back, get a pen and piece of paper, take plenty of notes because you're going to need them. And let's go on this journey of exposure for your books. Hello everyone, how are y'all doing today? What are y'all up to? I know I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I really need some rest yesterday. So y'all please forgive me for not bringing this to you yesterday. I know it's entitled Excerpt Sunday, but you know, you're doing so much recording and you're doing so much laying out of your laying out of your podcast and what you're going to do and what you're going to say and how everything is supposed to be. And this podcast and stuff is child, it's a lot, but I can handle it. We can handle it, right? We can handle it, right? So how are you doing? I see I have one person in the broadcast. What's your name? How are you doing? And where are you from? I would like to know who my family is when y'all come in. We are all family and we are here to help one another. So, like I said, today is Excerpt Sunday, but it's an Excerpt Sunday episode, but really it's Monday. But, you know, I want to give this to you. I wanted to give this information to you because this is what God laid on my heart. Because I get a lot of questions on my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and things of that nature. And sometimes we are asked these questions about our being an author and what should I do with certain things being an author. Okay, so today, we're going to talk about marketing for authors and the way authors can do some things that, you know, are not expensive. Some things are not expensive and some things are really cheap to do. So, wanted to, you know, marketing for authors is, a part of that is exposure. And you know, exposure is when you take the bull by the horns and you do the work. For us, indie or self-published authors, they're the same one. Where we take indie and self-published authors is the same in one, where we take everything and we do it ourselves and we spend our own funds and we help ourselves to things that, you know, we think we can do. We can cut back on some of the costs for our books that we're trying to publish. So this is one concept I have for the authors. It says marketing for authors, exposure. This is where you must do some of the work. It says, you know, unless you want your books to sit, you know, they want to sit on the floor in a box or you want to sit in the spare room in a corner. You have to do this work. This is very important. It is very essential for your business. It is very essential for, you know, you getting out there. You gotta step out on faith with a lot of things when it comes to being an indie or self-publisher. So the thing is that sometimes we have to do this work ourselves. You know, when we don't have, like I say, we don't have a publicist, and we don't have people, you know, if you go with a traditional company where they do all the work for you and you pay them this amount of money, and they do all this work for you. So the thing is that you have to do a lot of this work on your own. Okay, I just want to, you know, you know, me myself, I used to think that just because I had a website and I had a few book signing events and things like that, that my book was gonna be selling off the shelves, right? Wrong. Like, you know, being a self-published author and doing everything myself. That mean I had to do everything myself when it comes to the marketing too. So I want complete control over my literary arts, my stuff. I want complete control over everything that I did when it came to me writing my book. And marketing. I wanted to learn everything. So this is the part of concept that I want y'all to take notes. Okay, so then I realized I had to take every opportunity that was presented to me. I realized I had to go out there and get these opportunities. They weren't knocking on my door. They weren't saying, "Hey, we want you to come do this. We want you to come speak at this event. We want you to know." I had to step out on faith and go after what I needed to go after. And that was a thing for me. And at first I was scared. I was really I didn't want to, I was kind of scared. I was timid. I was like, these people don't want to hear me and this, that, and the other. And then God says, you have to do this work. You have to do this work. And the work is very important that you get this message out. And my thing is that, you know, I had to put the effort in order for me to reap the benefits. Reap the benefits of where I wanted stability in my life. I wanted to have the things that I needed in life, you know, as far as financial. And the things was, God said you have to do these certain things. And I want to give my props. I want to give props to this young lady that I have been watching for a long time. Her name is Desiree Lee, and she is the owner of Authors in Business. And I've been following her, and she is a great motivator, a great speaker. And yes, I'm giving her props, because if it had not been me finding her, I would not have known any of this stuff. And so now I've learned from her, and I'm passing the baton to other people that may need them. Okay, so first, this is a bit of advice for all authors that, that's doing this on their own. You want to set yourself up a budget of how much you want to spend on advertising your book. That's one particular subject. Set up a budget so you know how much money you want to spend on advertising for your book. Okay? This is a must, I'm going to tell you. Because if you don't put yourself in a budget, you'll be spending more money than you are making. Okay? Just got to watch the pros and cons with that. You know, you got to set yourself up a budget, how much money you want to spend on advertising for your book. Okay? It says, that was number one. Number two, reach out to libraries, reach out to book fairs, reach out to the church you go to, speak with your pastor, and, give him maybe a copy of your book so he may read it, or, say my book is such and such amount, and see if they will purchase it. Him and the first lady, you go to them, you talk with them, have a conversation with them, and you might want to even ask them, could you have a book signing event at your church? Okay, book signing. because that's the route I went. I asked my pastor that. So I just want to put that in there, And and this thing is like conferences. Conferences are good, like you go to small, not just starting off, go to like small or medium conferences. Maybe no more than maybe 100 people, where you can control, what your budget gonna look like. And once your budget grows, then you may want to step into a more bigger conference, like maybe they got like 200 people or 300. Just take your time with it. Don't rush, because you can't put the cart before the horse, okay? Just telling you. I'm telling you something I know. I've learned that the hard way. I'm trying to doing too much, too fast, too soon, and I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared for the amount of money I was going to spend, and it affected my budget. It affected my budget when I didn't put all the variables together for my budget. So, and you might want to do live, like live Facebooks, Periscope, Instagram, speaking about your book. It's all about exposure. No matter, we all want to be shy. We all want to be, I'm not ready yet, and things like that. And then we're too, and sometimes we got to think out the box. When you do a live Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, things like that, and you speak about when you speak about your book, you don't know who's listening and who's going to go by. And always put your plug in about your book where they can get it on Amazon, Goodreads, or Barnes & Noble, or iTunes, or Google Books, or, if you have all those things set up for your book distribution. So always put your plug in for your books on your live broadcast. Okay, so you may want to work with a graphic artist, a graphic designer. Okay, maybe the same person graphic designer that designed your book cover. And you may want them to make you some banners, some advertising banners, some advertising flyers for digital flyers for like different sites. Like people, like I go to this group called Black Women Promote, and Miss in this group, Miss Shonda Rhodey, she always has a space for you can advertise your business logo, your business, what you do, what your business is about. She always leaves advertising space for women or men to promote their products. So you may want to get into that. Okay. You want to put flyers, you want to advertisements, you want to buy advertising space from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They all have these advertising spaces. So it's good to advertise your books or your book, and you never know who's going to come across that. We always scrolling on a page. We're always scrolling on a page, and then I see always somebody saying, I sell these journal books. Or I see advertisement for a book from an author. I see your advertisement from a magazine, a black-owned magazine company, and things of that nature. And the thing is that this advertisement that you do can lead up to multiple streams of income. That's what we're really boiling down to. So, and number 3 is, that was number 3. We're going to number 4. Number 4 is go to other people's events, parties, book events, book signing events, to see how these events are actually put together. You might want to get with the coordinator of the event, because this will come in handy for you when you want to have your own book signing. You got to get it. You have to go to these events. It's very important that you go to events and sit and enjoy. They might have talking. They might have music. They might have networking. They might, they have a whole plethora of things that you do at these book signing events. and or parties or launch parties, and you can always learn more when it comes to being an author. When it comes to being an author, keep an open mind of stuff that you can learn new, as being an indie or self-published author. Okay, we're going five. Say, advertise on the radio or a podcast. Okay, this is good for authors as well, and any kind of business. If you just you reach out to the people that you see on the podcast or that's doing the podcast, and they always leave you a link to leave them a message. You go into the message, leave them a message, say, look, I would like to advertise on your podcast, and is there a fee for it, for advertising, and you leave a message, and the author or the person that's doing the podcast or a radio show will get back with you and give you all the details. Okay, that's a good one to do, because there's always people listening to podcasts. They are listening tentatively all the time. I listen to podcasts. I listen to Sarah Jakes Roberts podcast all the time, and it's very informative, and it's very, I hear the advertisements. I'm going to listen to other people's advertisement. And then you know how you listen to music on Spotify or Pandora or something like that. That's how they get theirs. That's how you can get your ads on their programs, because you have decided to spend money on ads, digital ads, vocal ads, paper ads. It's always good to, another thing is to advertise in the newspaper. I've also done this myself. Advertise your book in the newspaper. That comes in handy too, because some people still read newspapers. Okay. It says then number six is local bookstores, like local bookstores in your area, or the bookstore that your book is carried in, like Barnes and Nobles, privately owned bookstores. Go and speak with the owner or the manager and see if you can have a book signing in their store. See if you can have a book signing in the store. It's a whole lot of things that you can come up with about promoting your book. So these are some of the things that I think that you would possibly need, okay? Because I have experienced all of this, okay? So I'm speaking from the horse's mouth, okay? So it's some things, I'm passing down to you, okay? So number seven is when someone is looking to hire authors to interview. When I joined this book club, I joined the book club let's say the beginning of the year, and it's called Black Authors. It's on Facebook. Black Authors, Black Authors, and everybody's advertising. It's about books by Black authors, black authors. And the thing is that join maybe one or two groups that will promote your book, because you need all the exposure you can get. So, interview, like somebody wants to interview you for their podcast, interview you for their radio show, interview you for their Zoom or their Skype or something that they're doing, and they want a speaker, and then here's number 8 is speaking events is another way to get out there to market your book. Say they need a speaker, okay, and you do this talking all the time, and you do your podcast, you do live. That's your experience. You already have your speaking experience. If you do live, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Zoom, things of that nature that come along, that's your speaking experience. So you can, refer them to some of your episodes that you've done. So speaking, and then that gives you open a door for you to set up a vendor's table. That sets up a vendor's table for you at the event, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Vendor's tables come in very handy at conferences, or you're speaking at somebody's event and you get a table. That's another plus that you can have. So, like I said, I already mentioned about the newspaper articles. And number 10, it says advertise on other people's websites. Advertise on other people's websites. Do you know how many people get a click on their banners when they advertise on people's websites? And then you may pay a sum of money for maybe 6 months or a year, or however they want to, however they working it out, however the person's, the website wants to have that come in. And then how many clicks do you think you can get if this person is always, if it's a plethora of people that go to the website, that see the website and they scrolling and they see, oh, Sharise Johnson Moore got a book. Okay, all right, let me go check this out. Click, and then then that click adds up to maybe revenue for you to sell your book on your website or on Amazon if you have it listed there. Okay, so everything leads to you having multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income. So, and then it says 11. 11 is create flyers. Create flyers for your book so you can leave them at the barbershop, hair salon, or other places of business. Okay? You want to advertise as much as you want to. I mean, advertise with a paper, whether it's digital, whether it's print, whether it's posters, whether it's advertising. Do you realize how much advertising can get you if you advertise these things? If you advertise your business, advertise your book, where you got a picture of you and a book and all the listeners of where they may purchase your book at, and then you realize, okay, then they could either reach out to you on your business phone and say, okay, well, I would like to order a autographed book. I would like autographed book from you. So that's another thing that opens another avenue of opportunity. Okay. Number 12, we're going to join book clubs. Like I said, join book clubs or start your own book club. They have a lot of these, book clubs on Facebook that promote authors. Like I said, they promote authors. I've given you that one already. So that thing is like, if I repeat it, it must be really, really something good to it. It says join book clubs or start your own book club. And then in some groups, and people have them on Facebook group for authors, and they promote their books. You also can find people that have websites that promote other people's books, and they might ask for a small fee like $5 or $10 to place your book on their website. That's not bad, because you don't know how many people go to this. It's a lot of people. Everybody's surfing the web, and there's 7 million people out there. So 7 million people, hey, say 100,000 of them go to this one website and see your advertisement. Okay? Multiple streams of income. Okay? So these are some of the things, some of the few things that you can do to promote your book. Promote your book, and never stop promoting your book. You might have one book out, and then you might, just as long as you keep that advertising space, and coming in And the thing is that by that being a multiple stream of income, it can hold you, but you'll need some more stream of income, of course. So my thing to you is, and this is, I have a bonus tip for you. 2 bonus tips. Billboard ads. Billboard ads. Have you ever thought of billboard ads? Or bonus number 2, you do a book tour. Book tours are popular, whether they're virtual or they're actual. They're popular, so it's good to join them. And like I said, everything requires this part of your journey as an author requires you to have a budget, because some things are my grandma used to tell me, you can't make no money if you don't want to spend it. You got to invest in yourself. Invest in things that are very beneficial to you. You cannot make money if you don't want to invest in yourself. This is your baby. This is your project. So you take that baby and you nurture the baby, and you burp the baby, and you feed the baby milk. That's feeding the baby milk. Okay, I got to turn around and spend this money in order for the baby to grow. I got to spend money in order for the baby to grow up and become a nice toddler. Or I put that's the way I put it. I put it in mother terms. So because that's the way my grandma taught me. So I just want to let you know that these are some of the things that you can do to exposure for your books. Authors, take heed. Do as much of these things on a list. You might want to tie it down to 5 at first. Try 5. And then try that at 10, or try that at, you might want to start at 2, and you start 2 things, then you start 3 things. Then it accumulates to you having more than one stream of income, okay? So I wanted to put that out there. Billboard ads and book tours are your 2 extra bonuses, okay? So don't wait. Don't sit around, have a book sitting there on the floor. The book's just sitting there. They ain't doing nothing. They just collecting dust. You get out here and do what you need to do, okay? So thank you for coming in to Sharise Johnson Moore's podcast. And thank you for spending time with me during this time. I want to give this marketing tip, the marketing tips for authors. And if you missed the episode today, you can also go on my podcast and listen to the information I gave. So there's always ways, or you could replay this video. And thank y'all for coming in again. I love y'all. Bye, babies. Hello everyone, hi, this is Sharise Johnson Moore, and I just want to thank you for coming in to listen to my broadcast, okay? This has been a marvelous session that we've had, and I greatly appreciate you listening, and this is where you will come in handy. This is your part. If you would like to support this podcast, you can support it with a donation every month between 99 cents and $9.99. The increments are 99 cents, $4.99, $9.99 every month for a monthly subscription, so you do not miss these episodes. All the proceeds go towards keeping this broadcast running. And I would greatly appreciate your help for all that you do when you support this podcast. Also, I want to say that I'm looking for businesses or individuals that have businesses and you would like to advertise on the podcast. If you would like to support this podcast with sponsorship. Well, your sponsorship pays for an ad of your business. So, if you're interested, get in contact with me and we'll sit down and talk about it. Okay? Thank you everyone for having the time to listen, making the time to listen to my podcast. And I love you, and I will see you next time on Sharise Johnson Moore's podcast. Y'all have a blessed day now, babies. Bye.